Yeah, 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 it's a miracle! I finally got my Baby Yoda toy from Amazon. They said it would take like 2 months. But even though it was back ordered, it only took 2 weeks. Hey!
Hey, Quibbles. Yes, 2 months can be a long time to wait, but I don't know if I would call that a miracle. At least not the type of miracle that Jesus did.
Really? Well, what would you call a miracle? Getting a Baby Yoda in 1 week?
No. I've actually experienced a miracle in my family.
Oh, what happened?
My youngest brother Todd is a snowboarder. Actually, when he was young, he was professionally ranked. He is so very good, and you can actually see his picture here. One time, Todd was snowboarding really fast, and he accidentally hit a tree. Bam!
Look! Oh no!
He was very banged up, and only a miracle could save his life. Thankfully, the ski safety patrol found him at his crash site right away, and they were able to get him on a helicopter that was ready to take him to doctors that were ready to fix him up. But guess what? Todd was so badly hurt that the doctors at the first hospital couldn't even fix him up all the way. They could only help him to stay alive, to get on another helicopter and go to another hospital where he needed to have a lot of surgeries. And Todd had many serious surgeries, but God was with him through every step of the way. He was with him and made sure he got all the surgeries that he needed and helped the doctors fix him up just the way they needed to fix him up. So God healed my brother, and it was a miracle.
Wow! I'm really glad your brother's okay.
Yes, Todd is healing up and doing just fine. He's having a great time, and he's playing with his dog Waylon.
Cool. But wait a second. That wasn't a miracle, was it? I mean, wasn't it the doctors that helped heal your brother and not God?
Well, my family and I do believe that Todd's healing was one of God's miracles. Now, the doctors did help heal my brother, but we believe that it was God that helped the ski patrollers find Todd the exact moment that he needed to be found. It was God that kept him alive long enough to get to the doctors that he needed to get to in order to help him. It was God that gave the doctors the skills to help Todd stay alive and do the surgery successfully. Every single thing that Todd needed to have his life saved happened at the perfect time, at the very second that Todd needed them to happen. God provided them, and if anything had been late, Todd might not have made it.
So, it was a miracle because without God, your brother would not have been healed.
Yes, everything happened just the way it needed to. It was all in God's timing.
Did Jesus use doctors or medicine to heal people?
Actually, Jesus did the miracles all by himself. Remember, Jesus is God. Jesus was healing people to show God's power. And doing the miracles all by himself proved that Jesus was God's son.
Really? I'd like to see that.
Great! Let's watch the Bible lesson video.
Yeah.
Jesus traveled to Capernaum with his disciples Simon, Andrew, James, and John. He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath and began to teach. The people there were very surprised. Jesus' teaching was not like the scribes' teaching. He spoke with authority. Just then, a man with an unclean spirit shouted, "What do you have to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." Jesus commanded the spirit to be quiet and come out of the man. The spirit yelled again and then came out. Everyone was amazed. "Who is this Jesus?" they asked. "He teaches with authority, and the unclean spirits obey him." News about Jesus spread quickly throughout all of Galilee. Next, Jesus and his disciples went to Simon and Andrew's house. Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever. Jesus went to her, took her hand, and healed her. She got up and began to serve them. That evening, large crowds of people came to the house with others who were sick or bothered by evil spirits, and Jesus healed them. Early the next morning, Jesus went out by himself to pray. Simon and the other disciples found him and said, "Everyone is looking for you." Jesus said, "Let's go on to the nearby villages so I can preach there too. This is why I have come." Jesus traveled throughout Galilee. He preached and drove out demons. A man with a skin disease came to Jesus. He got on his knees and begged, "If you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus was willing, and he healed the man. Jesus' miracles proved that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God. They strengthened people's faith and met their needs. Through Jesus, God did what is impossible for us to do on our own. He provided forgiveness, salvation, and eternal life.
Whoa, that was pretty epic. Welcome to the question and answer show with Quibbles and Moss. I love learning about miracles. Yeah, and it was pretty awesome to hear about the miracle in Adam's family, too. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Back in Jesus' time, people came to him. Jesus healed them. Even today, Jesus still heals people. What did the healing miracles show us about Jesus? As God's Son, Jesus showed his power with miracles. With miracles, Jesus showed that he cared for people. Jesus showed that he was stronger than the sickness people faced. Jesus not only helped people with physical needs, but he also helped them with spiritual needs too. So, why did Jesus heal the man with leprosy? Oh, Jesus was showing God's love. Jesus had compassion on him. Even though healing people is very important, there was something even more important to Jesus. Do you know why Jesus' preaching was more important than his miracles? Oh, I know this. Jesus used his miracles to show that he had authority from God. The miracles supported the truth of the lessons Jesus taught. See, a person who was healed from sickness would get better physically, but they might still not be healed spiritually. Jesus wants people not just healthy physically, but he also wants to save them spiritually too. Why did Jesus say he came? Jesus came to teach. That's why his preaching was so important. The miracles prove that Jesus is telling God's truth, and God's truth saves people with the gospel. Actions speak louder than words. So remember, let your kindness and caring show others what Jesus' love looks like.